What's up everybody, this is Blister with Less Than Epic coming at you with another classic WoW video. In today's video, I want to talk to you guys about how you can make enough money for your mount by the time you hit level 40. So let's talk about that. So the first thing, and the most important thing, that a lot of people just don't do anymore when it comes to MMOs is grinding. It doesn't really matter where you grind, but if you go out and actually grind in the world, you're going to find yourself getting a lot of cloth, a lot of greens, and potentially some blues. And all those items can make big bucks when it comes to the auction house. So going out into the open world and grinding out, just farming some mobs, especially if you have skinning, going and farming some beasts and farming them to get 1 or 2 levels at a time in your mid-20s and in your mid-30s, your late 30s, you're going to be able to get a lot of raw materials and greens that you're going to be able to sell in the auction house that are going to get you a lot of gold while you're leveling. Now, that's the biggest tip I can give for you guys. Another one that we've talked about before is try not to spend your money on the auction house. Now, I know that every once in a while you're going to feel like you need to go to the auction house and you need to upgrade that weapon because it's 7 levels lower than you are, or you're gonna feel the need to go and buy those pair of shoulders because you haven't found any shoulders yet. Just be patient and continue the grind. If you go out into the open world and you're grinding and you happen to find a green that you can upgrade with, go ahead and equip it. You can also go online and you can figure out where you can get specific drops if you're looking for something from quests that are really gonna help you. And if all else fails, just farm some dungeons until you can get some gear. But please don't go out and spend a whole bunch of money on the auction house as you're leveling up. If you want to get that stuff, save it for when you're leveling up your second character, when you have somebody at cap already that has another method of making gold, so that way you're not sitting there constantly having to worry about how much money you have and whether or not you're going to be able to get your mount when you hit level 40. Another big thing that people tend to do here and there, I've seen some people smart enough not to do it, but a lot of newbies will probably end up doing this. Don't buy any skills that you don't need. For an example, with my rogue, while I was leveling up, I got kick rank 1. What's the point of getting kick rank 2 and higher? It's just a little bit more damage. There's no real reason for me to get the next rank in kick. So I just have rank 1 kick. There's no reason to go and spend 30, 40 gold on getting all these extra skills that you don't actually need. So only getting the required skills that you actually need for a leveling, that's going to save you a lot of money in the long run. Another way that you could potentially make money, but this is a big if, is if you use professions. Now, I'm talking about crafted professions. Crafting professions, if you go out and farm your own materials and then craft your own items and then sell them, there is some good potential to make money, but make sure you actually spend some time researching which items you're actually going to be sell well, and or which items you can actually just vendor for more than what you're going to get if you vendor the raw materials to a vendor. Now, when it comes to gathering professions are great for getting money while you're leveling up, especially when you're working towards that level 40 mount. In the beta, I took up skinning and herbalism. And I did that so that way I could have 100% of everything I was doing going straight towards the money I was going to need towards my mount. Because I didn't hit 40 until a whole bunch of people had already stopped playing, I ended up having to just vendor most of what I was picking up. But still, it only took about 3 to 4 hours of farming to be able to get a good chunk, 30 gold, 35, 40 gold from just farming. And while I was doing that, I was still leveling. So with that said, let's talk about some spots where you can actually do some of these kind of farms and how you can also make money. So the first farm I want to talk to you guys about is going to be the turtles or the snappers in Classic. Up in Daenerys, on the top right hand corner on the coast, there's going to be a bunch of steeljaw snappers that you can kill, and they're going to be in the low 40s. Now these guys are going to have a chance to drop turtle meat, which is used for a quest, and it's also used to level up cooking. So you can just throw those right up onto the market, and you're gonna get a decent amount of money for them because people are gonna be using quite a bit just to level up cooking and for that quest. Same mob is also going to give you a chance to get the big mouth clams. The big mouth clams are going to give you zesty clam meat, which is also used for a quest, and it's also used to level up cooking, and then it's also going to give you a chance to get a pearl. And all of that is just going to be great to throw straight up on the auction house, and you can make a decent amount of money with it. On top of that, if you are a skinner, you're also going to get a chance to get some turtle scale, some thick leather, some heavy leather, some thick hide, and some heavy hide. All of those are great. The hides, not so much, but even if you're just vendoring all of this, it's just extra silver in your bags that you can sell to a vendor. It's just great extra income. Now, these aren't the only turtles that are good for leveling. I've talked about we want to be able to make sure at level 40 we can just go straight and get our mount. And the steel jaw snappers are usually going to be something that you're going to farm at level 40 or 41, maybe 42. So you're already going to be where we want to be. What about a turtle that's a little bit lower level? Well, if you go to South Shore, all along that river that runs through South Shore, there's going to be a bunch of turtles. Go and farm those turtles. They're going to give you pretty much the same exact loot table, and it's going to be great farming, great XP, and you're going to be able to make a boatload of money off of them. The next farm is actually the farm that I did quite a bit, and I did that because I was a skinner and an herbalist. And that is killing all the jaguars in the Swamp of Sorrow. You just go around the center of the map and you just kill all the jaguars. Kill them to get to skin them for their hides, obviously, which is great source of income. Even though I was selling most of this directly to the vendor, it was still a great way to make a bunch of cash. On top of that, they have some grays that actually sell for 7 to 8 silver a piece. So getting those items is going to be really good as well. If you also happen to have herbalism, you're also going to be able to get Fade Leaf, Blindweed, Goldthorn, and Khadgar's Whisker, all from that same area. The Blindweed sells great to vendors. So even if you can't sell those on the auction house early on because it's just flooded with those mats and you're not really going to make much of a profit and it's going to cost too much to deposit when you put it up, just vendor them. Don't feel bad about it. You're going to be able to make a bunch of cash just doing that. On top of that, you can also farm the whelplings in the Swamp of Sorrows as well. Go look up where they actually all spawn, but they all have a chance to drop a mount. And if you get lucky enough, you get that mount, you're golden. You'll get your mount pretty much right there. So that drop chance is really low. So I prefer just going and farming the jaguars because I know it's a guaranteed thing. But if you want to go high risk, high reward, the whelplings are a great option as well. Circling back to crafting professions again now, this is something that I didn't mention earlier because I wanted to kind of mention it in its own thing because it's a little bit different than most of the other crafting professions, is alchemy. Now, combining that with fishing, those two professions hand in hand, herbalism is great too, but fishing and alchemy, those two really can actually make you a lot of money in classic WoW, especially early on when people are trying to level up everything. You go and you get fishing and you just sit there and you farm fishing and you start selling all those fish on the market. You're going to make a lot of money and you're going to make it really quick because everybody at the same time is going to be trying to farm up their cooking for raids so that way they have their food that they need. So make sure if you need money and you don't feel like going out into the world and actually killing anything and farming that way, you could easily farm with fishing, using fishing in hand with alchemy, with the recipes in alchemy that require fish, just doing all of that, and you're gonna make a lot of money if you decide to go down that road as well. So I don't want to give away everything to you guys, but these are some of the things that I do when it comes to trying to farm up that gold to level 40 to make sure I have that 100 gold to get my mount. You really want to make sure that you have your mount once you hit level 40 because it's going to increase your productivity tenfold. It's only a 60% mount speed increase, but really it's night and day. Once you get that, you just feel like you move so much faster, you get stuff done quicker. It's just all around, you'll be so happy if you hit 40 and you're able to just go and buy that mount immediately. It's a huge sense of an accomplishment if you're able to do that. Alright guys, that's it. That's all I got for this one. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on this video. As always, thanks for watching everybody, and I'll see you in the next one.